A heavy rain cloud is hanging over the city of Boston. Everyone that can has sought cover from the rain. No wish to get wet this early on in the day. One person did not have the luxury of seeking cover from the rain, though. He is late enough as it is. Nathan runs as fast as his legs can carry him, water splashing around them from each step he takes through the streets he has called home since he was born. His demon, a grey-brown wild rabbit, and like him, completely soaked to the skin from the heavy downpour. "This sucks," she complains loudly up to her human, trying to avoid the bigger pools of water, but eventually just gives up and runs through them to keep up with him. "I told you drinking bonk before bed was a bad idea." Yeah. Nathan huffs down to her, not really in the mood to hear her complaints, or rather his own mental complaining. Every person has a demon. It is a manifestation of one's inner self, and will take the shape of an animal that is closest to their human's personality. When a person is young, the demon can take many forms, but when their humans reach maturity, they will settle into one permanent shape. Whatever that shape might be will reveal to both their human, but also the world, what kind of person they are, and that makes it easy to appraise what that person is best suited for in society. "It's also your fault, and you know it," he tells her. After all, Nalini was the one who kept delaying their departure. Nalini takes shape as a seagull and flies up before him. "Come on," she whines playfully. "Tom Jones was on the radio. So what? We're coming a bit late." She flies a bit beforehand, only stops when she feels the discomfort from the limit of the invisible bond between them. She turns around in mid-air, remarking, "It's only once in a lifetime we might hear one of his speeches." Nathan grins, so right she is. "Yeah, I admit it was awesome hearing him call out to his fans. Like having him talk directly to us." She agrees and lands on his shoulders, taking shape as a bullfrog in hope the rain will bother her less. Nathan continues running through the rain, not wanting to risk losing his job. Dell hasn't said anything, but Nathan will not risk losing practically the only place that has accepted him as who he is. Nathan might look like any other person, but he's not. All because of his demon. See, Nathan has long reached past the time period where a demon should settle into a permanent form, but that never happened to Nalini. Even at the age of 19, she continues to change form like a child's demon. For Nathan to get in contact with people, that's no problem. The problem is keeping the contact with said people. Every time people realise that Nalini can still change forms, they start to shun him away, wondering what is wrong with this young man, and hoping the magisterium might be able to help this poor soul so he can be like anyone else. Nathan was at first not really bothered by it, but as he got older and had trouble supporting himself, and was practically unable to live a normal life because people were unable to see the person instead of some kind of freak, well, he began to wish Nalini would settle. Only one person had been willing to give him a chance, and that's the same man he works for. Nathan arrives at the factory he's been working at for about 2 years, relieved, seeing that his boss is too busy melding a metal frame to notice that his assistant is running late. "Trouble getting out of bed again, eh, boy?" The man's demon, a golden-brown beaver, remarks from her spot on the floor, putting down the wires she's been braiding together. Can't say the same about Nera. Nathan flinches from getting busted, and Nalini turns into a moth in embarrassment. He tries avoiding further embarrassment with a cheeky remark. Oh no, the freaking rain made it terrible to move. If you say so. The golden brown beaver rolls her eyes with a light chuckle. Her human, a bit of a short and stocky man from Texas, stops his welding and turns to face Nathan. He doesn't bother removing the welding goggles from his eyes. What matters is that you are here, Dell says with that southern drawl of his. The man gets up and leaves the metal frame he's been working on, gesturing for Nathan to come over. Let's find you some dry clothing. Can't have you get a cold. You're not making me work in your clothing, Nathan tells him right away. He would look twice as skinny than he already is. Not to mention ridiculous, since he's a head higher than the Texan. The man knows exactly how his day, hell, probably his life is going to be, and seems completely okay with it. Nathan has trouble understanding that. If that had been him, he would have gone insane. But he respects Dell enough not to try to change the man's boring way of life. Better get dressed before he throws a wrench after us, Nalini remarks. Of course, Dell would never do such a thing. But Nathan does quicken the pace, changing from cold, wet, to the dry and comfortable clothing, and hurries over to the work table where Dell is currently taking out a huge sheet-like bag that one day will be filled with gas for the Zeppelin he builds. So what do you want me to do? Nathan asks the Texan. Dell doesn't even stop his work when he says, I have some tanks I would like you to move over to the pumps. His demon nods towards the place where the gas tanks are located. When you're done and have the energy for it, I would highly appreciate it if you could give this letter to a client of mine. He doesn't trust the mailman delivering it in time, Nero remarks, amused. Dell, on the other hand, isn't, and scowls to the smug beaver. That's not it, you silly girl. Simply making sure he's getting a little out from this old place. He smiles to Nathan. Did he mention that Dell is a cool guy? He is, and that is why he can deal with working this boring place. I can do that, Nathan says, and leaves to do the first task. The tanks in the storage room do not look like much, and with them merely holding gas, which does make a Zeppelin fly, Nathan guesses they probably won't weigh too much. He grabs the tank and pulls. Okay, they are a lot heavier than he estimated. Seriously, how can mere gas weigh like a barrel of water? He lets go, takes a deep breath, and tries again. This time, bending his knees like his oldest brother once taught him. All right, I can do it, and lifts it. He almost topples over by the weight. How can Dell make it look so freaking easy? Nathan has seen him carry these things like they're nothing. Never mess with the guy who can lift these with ease, huh? Nalini remarks from his shoulder, taking the form as a field mouse. Nathan just nods and carries the first gas tank to the pump that fills the huge balloon-looking things lying around the workshop. Dell glances up from his work for a moment, watching Nathan straighten up, and sends the man a grin that says he shouldn't worry. No way in hell he's going to show Dell that carrying a single gas tank has him winded. Dell gives him an encouraging nod, returns back to work. Nathan lets out a breath, claiming as much air as he can get as he returns back to the storage for another tank. After placing the second and going for the third, he wonders out loud to his demon, I wonder why Dell wants us to deliver that letter. Nalini rolls her eyes. She turns into a cat and jumps onto one of the tanks. He does it as a sign he trusts you. Both turn to where the man and his demon beaver work. You know how important he considers his work. Yeah, Still weird he'd trust me with such a thing. Nathan muses, grabs the third tank. Of course, he's flattered by the gesture, but he hasn't exactly proven himself to be the most reliable person. Nathan does have a bit of a problem keeping to a schedule, and his record isn't exactly clean either. He and his 7 older brothers are almost like a gang in these parts. They often get into fights with other gangs that try to take over their home turf, and sometimes Nathan and his brothers even fight the police. That is also one of the reasons why people don't trust him, and why he hasn't been able to keep a job for long. So yeah, he's lucky Dell has been so patient with him. Bigger reason why not to screw this one up, his demon says. And he cannot agree more. He might dislike working at this small factory, but he has it a lot better here than any other place. With the last tank placed at the pump, and regaining his breath, Dell hands him this important letter and where he wants it delivered. "Don't lose it," the man tells him in his rare, harsh tones, clarifying just by that how important this letter is. "I won't," Nathan promises, puts the letter deep into his pocket. Nalini even turns into a mouse and crawls down the same pocket, in the sign she will not allow it to fall out. Satisfied, Dell explains that the letter needs to get directly into the hands of his client, a man with a horned owl as demon, before he shoos Nathan out and the young man runs once again down the streets of his home city. And the young man is happy the rain has finally stopped. Nathan loves running, enjoys the feeling of the air passing over his skin, how his entire body reacts to each step he makes. He prides himself being the fastest runner in the area, takes his own speed and agility very seriously. Nathan arrives at the fancy building that Dell wanted the letter delivered to. Not even winded from the run, he checks his pocket, and when sure the letter is still there, he walks over to the door and knocks 3 times. A moment later, a man in a black suit with a dog as his demon arrives, looking at the young man as if he's some homeless dude. "Whatever you have, we ain't buying." Okay, this is why Nathan does not bother to strike up a chat with rich people. They always look down on the common people, like they're not worth their time. He takes the letter, almost squeezing Nalini in the process, and angrily shows the fancy pants the letter. "I'm here to deliver this, dumbass!" Man sends him a glare for the name-calling, but does take a look at the letter from the now pissed young man. He frowns. "Oh, so you're Mr. Carnegie delivery boy," says it like it comes as a huge surprise. Man reaches out for the letter. "I'll take it from here." But before he can take it, Nathan puts the letter back into his pocket. "He prefers being called Dell, and he specifically told me to give this directly to the client," Nathan tells the man, getting the feeling this jerkface is just a butler. Wouldn't surprise him, since this guy's demon is a dog. Servants and soldiers always have dogs as demons, for some weird-ass reason. Makes him wonder how rich these people are. "No way I'm letting some street rat into—" "Garrett? Who is it?" Female voice questions, interrupting the butler. Unbeknown, saving him from a punch to the face. The man named Garrett turns his head away from the fuming Nathan and into the house. "It's nothing, miss. Just a delivery boy." "Oh, Leonard has been waiting for that," the voice replies, and commands the butler, much to his dismay. "Let him in." "Yes, miss," the butler replies dully. He steps away from the door, allowing Nathan inside, but does stop him by pointing at the young man's shoes. "Take those filthy things off!" Nathan sends the man a glare, then smirks from an idea of small revenge popping into his head. "Nah, I think you need to do a little work around here," and leaves the butler, making sure to step extra hard so the dirt and water from his shoes falls off, made the butler fume with rage, but cannot do anything about it. Grinning, Nathan walks into this mansion of a house, forgetting the ass butler by the view of this place. This room looks like something out of one of those romance movies his mother likes to watch so much. Darn, these people must earn what his family scrapes by in their lifetime every single day. He passes by an oil painting of a beautiful garden. Its frame is made from oak. Nathan whistles at the sight. Whew. "This way, please." Turning around, Nathan's eyes land on the prettiest girl he has ever laid his eyes on. She looks to be around his age, except she is dressed like $1 million in that purple dress. Her black hair braided into a ponytail, allowing her beautiful green eyes to stand out extra. Beside her stands her demon, a middle-sized and snowy white dog with bright blue eyes. Okay, so he is in love with this gorgeous. Sharp pain at his left hand snaps him out of his daze, and he shoots a glare to his demon, the one who has bitten him. Still in her mouse form, Nalini returns the glare. "Get a move on, dumbass! You look like a fool!" "All right." Nathan follows the angel through the room. At a door down a small hallway, the angel knocks, and a man, probably her father, appears. Nathan notices the owl on the man's shoulders. This is the guy. He takes out the letter and hands it to the client. The man takes it and reads the message. Whatever Dell wrote apparently pleases the man, since he nods. "Ah, I knew I could count on him. Could you return my answer?" he asks, catching Nathan a bit off guard. Sure." "Wonderful. Wait just a moment." And the man leaves, going back to his room to write his answer to Dell, leaving Nathan and his daughter alone. "So," Nathan starts, but before he can come out with any good lines, his dream girl leaves, much to his disappointment. He wishes he can follow, but that would probably be a bad idea. He won't be able to pay if he accidentally breaks anything, so that leaves him to stand really uncomfortably while he waits for the man to write his answer. "Hi." Blinking, he turns around, spotting a child around the age of 5. Like his new dream girl, this young one has green eyes. Her hair is brown, though. Her demon, on her shoulder, has currently taken shape as a squirrel. "Are you the street rat Garrett speaks about?" the little girl asks. Yeah," Nathan replies, but does quickly recover. He does spend a lot of time around smaller children. They really get uncomfortable around him and his unsettled demon. "Don't listen to him, though. I am no street rat. He's just angry I made him look bad." "Okay, I'm Clovey, and this is Acario." The girl points at her demon, which has now taken the shape as a shaken mouse, saying with just as shaken a voice to his human, You shouldn't talk with strangers." Nathan smiles, kneeling down so that he is at her eye level. "Name's Nathan, Nate for short. Now you know my name, so I'm no stranger." Girl smiles, and her demon stops shaking. Hey, works every time. "You want to play a game with me, Nate?" she asks hopefully. Glancing back to the door where her father is at the moment, Nathan decides he might as well keep the kid and himself entertained. "Sure, as long as it's inside this room, all right?" "Okay, let's play hide and seek," Clovey says, tells him she will be the one hiding. "You count, and no peeking." Grinning, he covers his eyes and starts counting out loud, listening to the girl scrambling around for a good hiding spot. He finishes counting and calls out, "Ready or not, here I come!" and uncovers his eyes. Nalini crawls up on his shoulders and leaps off, now in the shape as a hawk. She scouts the room for the girl before landing on a table with a nod towards the outfolded curtain. Nathan smirks, but does not go over to Clovey's hiding spot right away. He will let the girl have some enjoyment first. "Now where can she be?" he asks loudly and walks over to a table, making sure the girl can see him from behind the curtain. "Are you here?" He looks under the table, smiling at the giggle Clovey tries but fails to hold back. "What about here?" Checks the lamp. The giggling gets louder. Nathan walks over to the curtain, acting like he's lost and unable to hear her. "Wow, she is really good," tells his demon, who grins in return. "Maybe I should give up. Wait, you hear it?" And he turns around and removes the curtain, cheering. "There you are!" Clovey squeals before bursting into laughter. Her demon takes shape as a sparrow and flies, chirping around Nalini, who joins him in the air. "Now you hide," Clovey says, and she runs over to count. Nathan sends one glance to the door, but when Clovey's father shows no sign of coming out, he starts looking for a good hiding spot. Not too good, since he does want Clovey to find him. He hides behind the bookshelf, with Nalini taking form as a rabbit, curling down. It looks like a fluffy rock. "Ready or not, here I come!" And a very happy Clovey runs into the room, searching for her playmate, with the squirrel Acario leaping around to help his human to find Nathan. The moment she spots Nathan, she runs over with, "Found you!" And the two demons leap around each other in a small game of tag. And just about there, Clovey's father walks out from the door. "I hope I didn't make you wait too long." He hands Nathan the letter. "Aw, does Nate have to leave?" Clovey asks sadly. Her father blinks, a bit confused, so the girl explains. "We've been playing hide-and-seek. He's very bad at it." "Nah, you're just too good," Nathan remarks, grinning, making the small girl beam. But he can't stay and play with her anymore. He has a letter to deliver. "Sorry, but I have to go." "Will I see you again?" Clovey asks hopefully. He doubts that. He never has any reason coming to this part of the city. But he can't tell the girl, so he just smiles and waves goodbye. She returns the wave, although with a sad look on her face. Nathan leaves the area, and just as it begins raining again, he returns to the Zeppelin factory, handing Dell the letter. Dell blinks, but does take the letter, remarking as he opens it, "Man's always replied, no matter how many times I tell him there is no need. Reckon he didn't even offer you anything to drink while waiting." "No, and I would have been bored out of my mind if his kid hadn't dragged me into a game of hide-and-seek," Nathan replies while going over to the water tank in the corner of the workshop, pouring himself a glass of water. "How was the kid?" Dell asks. Nathan shrugs. "A little shy, but nothing my child can't handle. I'm practically her best friend now." Dell laughs hearing this, although not surprised. Nathan does have a talent with children. He throws the fancy "thanks for informing him" letter from his client out in the trash and asks Nathan if he can help carrying the newly repaired gas balloon over to the rest. The young man does, and with that done, Dell honestly sees no need for Nathan to stay, as the rest he can do on his own. "That's about all the help you can do for today. Remember your wet clothing, and I will see you tomorrow." "All right, see ya, hard hat." Nathan runs home, all the way thinking of that beautiful lady he met today, but knowing with Nalini reminding him as well that him having any chance with that woman is practically zero.
We are the heroes of our time, but we're dancing with the demons in our minds. We are the heroes of our time, but we're dancing with the demons in our minds.